less than 100 years ago, there was 1/7 of the population of the world.
Yeah.
Now there are 7 billion. There are 7 times as many people. Just by sheer numbers, the chances of you being exceptional have decreased substantially.
Like, there's definitely someone out there that looks exactly like you.
Yeah. Yep.
So, for sure.
Absolutely.
So much
talented,
so,
like almost where they could walk into a room with your friends, and you'd be like, oh, your friends wouldn't notice until they started speaking.
Yep. Yeah, that just recently happened to me at Whole Foods. Had a 5-minute conversation with somebody in prepared foods. And I was sitting there thinking, like, fuck, did we have all these experiences? Until at the end, he was like, Tim, it was great to see you. And I was like, whoa. I was like,
Grown-up, human, comic, people! Grown-up, human, comic, people!
Hey, how you doing? It's time for another grown-up human comic people.
That's the blackest I've ever heard you.
There's a little Diamondback in you there.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? This is episode 12 of Volume 2 of Grown-Up Human Comic People. We're back.
Yay.
And we have one of our founding members back.
Hello, everybody.
They missed
Dan
you.
is back.
They missed
We've
you.
had multiple conversations about other Dans and things like that since you haven't been here because we talked about that on our podcast and on Drinking Partners, right?
yeah, we talked about it on
the
both
concept
podcasts.
of the other Dan.
Yeah.
There is no other Dan.
No.
Exactly.
There's Dan and Daniel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get it right.
Two people with two names.
So yeah, welcome to the show. We're all here. We'll go around the table like we usually do. I'll say a person's name and they say hi. To my left, as always, and finally back, Dan.
Hi. Nice to be back.
Becky.
Ahoy.
Greg.
Here we are.
Oh, Greg.
Thankful for my pancakes.
I am Jared, and welcome to the show. You can find us at grownuphumans.com. You can find us at epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play at Grown Up Human Comic People. Just search the name of the podcast. We got Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, all the same stuff. On Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram, we are at grownuphumans. And we are usually, not now, but usually we are operating out of the Southside Comic Book Shop, which is owned by Dan. Dan, shout him out the address. I know it is, but
1931 East Carson Street.
sorry, say it again. I was talking.
1931 East Carson Street.
You should also check out Midnight Rose on Facebook and on Bandcamp.
Or on Reverb Nation.
Yeah.
Facebook, Reverb Nation, YouTube. There is a Twitter. I haven't looked at it in a little bit. And
I think we've been really folding on that one.
yeah. However, I got to say, in a couple of days, so by the time this episode airs, we will be, I found this out last night / this morning, we will have, there will be uploaded on the interwebs our last show in its entirety.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Because, so the last show that we just played was the Tribute Fest Pittsburgh. We were at the Smiling Moose. This was on November 19th. Thanks to everyone.
The Lizzie thing. How did that go?
Exactly. Yeah, it was really good. Thanks again to everyone who came out. Yeah. They recorded the whole, all 5 bands.
Neat.
Yeah, and it's 3 weeks in a row too. It's annual, so it's kind of a cool event. But I glanced online last night. They have their YouTube channel. They still have stuff uploaded for the last 5 years worth of sets. So last night I watched a bit of some band last year did Black Sabbath. There was a Velvet Underground set. The week before us was Cream. Tonight there's going to be at another place. There's what is it? Pretenders and Killing Joke. Anyway, so it's a cool event. But you can hear our entire set audio song by song on. There's a Bandcamp upload of it. Okay. And then there'll be YouTube footage of video of our entire set. So that'll be cool. All half hour worth. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And
I did not know that.
Metamesh.
Yeah.
Metamesh.org, helping people who cannot afford internet access get internet access. And we are up for a lot of grants. So please check out our website because we're meeting with Hillman in a bit, and not just like one guy from the bottom rung. We were meeting with like Susan Hillman, who's a big fan of ours, and we have been scraping by for the past year, and we've had some really rough periods, and we've been working so hard, and I'm really hoping that 2017 is our year so that we can get bankrolled a bit.
Yeah.
So metamesh.org. I mean, also, just wanted to say real quick, you can set up Amazon Smile. It costs nothing to you.
I actually did that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For MetaMesh?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. I only did because we couldn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it costs nothing to you. Amazon
also-
will donate. It's not a lot, but 0.05, and we get like about $20 per month from that
That's
from
cool.
people, and that's not nothing.
No,
It's
I buy a lot of stuff on Amazon.
So yeah, all you have to do is go to Amazon Smile, put in MetaMesh, and that's it. If you have Chrome, it'll automatically do it for you.
How did you set that up? I wanted to set that up for the podcast.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you have to show me. I couldn't figure it out.
Wait, to get money to the podcast?
Yeah.
You have to have an EIN number registered as a nonprofit.
We can do that.
I'm sorry.
Easy. I know a guy.
I'll look into it.
The Amazon thing?
To get the Amazon Smile, yeah. You have to be a federally registered nonprofit.
Yeah, so there's a difference between the Smile, which are nonprofits, and then you can have an affiliate link,
Right.
Which is for
That's what you're thinking of.
You can almost do that for I think most things.
So we should do that then.
Right, it's an affiliate link.
Do
But
we have
then
an
we'd be
EIN
in
number?
direct competition with MetaMesh, and so
Might.
Becky would shout out, "Don't forget to go through Amazon Smile." Right.
Oh,
but-
I guess you can.
And then
Okay, yeah.
It's not difficult to get us an EIN number for Grownup Humans, so I'll look into that for us. Okay.
We don't have to lie about that.
No, we don't.
Okay, good.
Seriously. No, I want to do it legally, and look.
That's registration, and I think a small fee.
It's at most $25.
Yeah, I did it for the store like 2 years ago. It was really easy.
I like how we just hatched this idea right on the podcast.
You guys
Yes,
are,
thank you for listening to the
thanks.
Brain Trust.
Thanks to our listeners. This bullet bourbon doesn't buy itself.
This is
Also, before we cheers.
right.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yep.
And someone, Jer or Greg, will put the theme song in.
Yeah.
Na zdrowie.
It's probably going to be that black ass thing I said.
And right before I said that's the blackest thing
liked
I've ever heard you say.
Start like that all the time.
All right, so where are we? We can. That's past the plug section. Dan, you haven't been for a long time.
No,
we
yeah,
have not
no.
done a shop talk in quite some time. So please
Enlighten.
Can I ask a quick shop talk question?
Yes.
How did Small Business Day go?
So
Business
it was
Saturday.
it was going very well.
Great.
I left the store about an hour ago, 2 hours ago, maybe, I don't know, and it was good. So thanks for coming out, everybody.
You
It
had
was
some
nice.
amazing sales.
Yeah, I tried to draw the people in with good sales. So
So-
I hope you came down, took advantage. Thank you for supporting the store as always. Support us all the time, small business all the time, not just one day though. So, we appreciate it very much.
Yeah. So yeah, what else?
So,
Yeah. So what else?
that's like, yeah. So, I don't care about what you just said there. What's
Dan,
next?
you were looking-
What was being passed around? What?
Yeah, sometimes before the podcast,
You got a little jump start.
you gotta get ready for the podcast.
Gotta get in the mood.
That's what's going on right now.
So shop talk.
Yeah.
So the last one I did, I don't know, Civil War II was probably going on. It's still going on. So that hasn't changed. The shop talk is going to roll into my fuck 'em. It's an early fuck 'em. Marvel Comics. Their sales, their sell-through numbers are terrible. When you look at sales charts for comic books, the distributor Diamond puts it out. So it's everything retailers bought from Diamond. So it's not an accurate reflection of, how many copies are actually sold. So like when they say like, we sold 300,000 copies of this, you sold them to the retailers at cost. Did the retailers sell them all?
I see.
So the sell-through numbers, when I say that, I mean what do the retailers sell? And the consensus everywhere pretty much is Marvel Comics are doing very poorly.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, we talked about this, I think, the other day when I was in the shop. That there's so many characters and so many books. There's,
Yeah.
and some of the popular characters have 5 books.
Right.
And so I stopped reading some of them because I was just like, I don't need 4 Spider-Man books. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
It's
too
analysis
much.
paralysis.
Too much.
It's way too much, and it's a grab to. I mean, do you think it's a grab to get money? Having 5 books per character, something like Spider-Man.
I mean, Marvel, like, their business model is like put as much stuff out as possible, and you will make money because, especially when you're Marvel, retailers tend to order everything that they put out.
Right.
But actually, that's starting to change. What I'm seeing in retailer boards, like people are not buying, a Marvel series, which is unheard of. That never would have happened 5, 10, 15 years ago.
Well, I mean, even what comes to mind for me is whenever the first Mosaic issue. Like, you only ordered, 4 of them or something?
5.
Because...
No, I think I got 8 of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, still,
right,
had you known that was, I don't know, you had stopped, you stopped ordering that book because it's like, okay, no one's fucking buying this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I looked, I only got 8 because it was a number 1.
No, the Inhumans number 11 or whatever.
Oh yeah. That book, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't order those Inhuman books anymore.
Right. Even though they're pushing big time.
Oh god, it's like, give it up, guys.
Yeah,
people aren't that interested in Inhumans. Stop.
They're not the new X-Men. Stop trying to make that happen.
They're not. The thing that made the X-Men cool was they were relatable characters because they were outsiders. And even though the Inhumans are outsiders, they're royalty.
Right.
Yeah.
They're and they have this secured community, and they aren't really that feared by people.
Right.
Mutants were such a great allegory for the civil rights movement, and it's still even as we move past that, as a society, it still hung on as a good concept for comics because the characters were relatable, especially if you were a nerdy kid.
Right. Yeah. Everyone's been made to feel like an outsider at one point or another.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a bunch of X-Men that kind of make you feel like they get that.
Right.
And in this political climate where the economic, disparity is so large, the best thing to do is to put out a comic full of superhero royals.
Yeah.
No, that's the worst thing you do. Feel the room, Marvel.
Right.
Come on. Clearly you're not doing that. But seriously, that's stupid.
I agree. Oh, and also the X-Men had great relationships with each other, and there's so many different intricacies between the characters, and that's from a rich history. Right. The Inhumans, their history is not well known. I don't give a shit that Black Bolt is not married to Medusa anymore. Right. It has I don't feel that.
It wasn't when Jean Grey and Scott Summers got married.
Exactly, exactly right. Or when she died and he moved on to Emma Frost.
Right.
That was a big deal.
Yeah,
because there's so much.
Jean and Scott,
right?
Cyclops and fucking
Mm-hmm. But oh wow, I don't care that Medusa's dating Johnny Storm.
Well, and also does it I don't know. I mean, I if I had to guess of all the people I know who read comics, I'd say that 2 of them might be able to explain to me where the Inhumans come from.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, and so what's happening with mutants?
Well,
what happened was
that
Marvel sold their rights off to X-Men. And then there been a bunch of movies about that shit. And then Fox wouldn't give the X-Men back once Marvel started making their own movies.
Right.
So they were like, well, I guess we're going to fuck the X-Men.
No, so then that's where this whole mutants thing is coming from. But what's happening? What's the problem now? Because we read the number 1, right?
Of which one?
Of what was the one that was
The Outsiders?
The Outsiders.
Is that the name of the comic? I forget. But we did read it.
What are you guys talking about?
I don't know what I'm talking
It's one where the girl shows up at the party and is... No, never mind. All right.
We read the first issue of the series that you're talking about. I just forget what it's called.
Yeah, I thought it was called... for some reason, I thought it was called Mutants, and that's the one where...
Inhumans?
Inhumans, maybe.
We didn't read that. Mm-mm. No, what are you talking about?
I thought we did.
No, I was just talking about the Inhumans versus the X-Men and
how Marvel's pushing the Inhumans.
They're pushing Inhumans.
Didn't we read the first issue of the Inhumans?
No.
Really?
Is that,
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Maybe,
Is it the one where
maybe Dan and I read it.
Were they in
I
high
would
school?
never suggest that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. It was they were in high school, and there was this cloud moving in, this storm moving over, and people who were exposed to
the
Terrigen Mist.
the Terrigen Mist.
We read that.
We read that, and
Extraordinary X-Men. I think that's what we read.
Wait,
Extraordinary
did we read
X-Men.
X-Men?
Yeah.
Or was it Karnak?
No, it wasn't.
That
Karnak.
was-
No, we did read Karnak
Extraordinary
also.
X-Men was a long time ago. Well, it was a long time ago we did this.
We did that?
I'm pretty sure.
Did we do Extraordinary X-Men?
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's a whole bunch of new characters.
I don't wanna get them
They only reference like Magneto and
Yeah.
Professor X, but none of the X-Men, none of those that
Right.
character set appear in this, and it's sort of you have the government similar to the X-Men theme. We got to do something about.
I'll look back in our archives and see what it was because I
I'm
know
pretty sure it was Extraordinary X-Men.
But I thought it was a pretty good theme. It seemed like okay, well, we can't do shit with X-Men,
Yeah.
but what we can do is take this concept and
If they have better characters within the Inhumans, yes, but they don't.
Yeah.
they're shit.
They're not interesting.
I only read.
Black Bolt's power is that his voice is so powerful that like a whisper could destroy like the whole planet.
Right. So he
There
doesn't.
are already other
he
X-Men that
doesn't
are
talk.
similar. I mean, Siren's similar.
But wait, how do you establish that your voice can destroy a world unless you've talked at some point?
He's
Yeah.
done it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like Rogue has killed her boyfriend,
He has used his power before.
Yeah.
and he destroyed a planet, not Earth.
I don't know what he's destroyed lots of things with his voice.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
But they're really
most recently
boring.
Cyclops.
They're the ordinary
But
X-Men.
but the point is that those characters, they're not relatable at all. They're so boring. And
I like Karnak though. Karnak's awesome.
well, I like
Karnak's
Karnak.
cool, but he's not even an Inhuman.
Karnak's cool as
Right,
fuck.
He never took the mist in.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
not.
he didn't take.
He didn't
the
have his
surgeon
transformation.
But he does have powers though.
Right.
Yes.
I don't understand how that works.
I don't either. Maybe because they were genetically modified.
They just say
from
that
the start.
he went to trade in the temple or something and became
Right.
this person.
Okay.
But phones freak him out.
Yeah,
that
but
comes-
back to
I
like
love
the
Karnak.
original
Oh yeah, fuck
point
'em.
here.
What's going on? Marvel.
Their sales are down, and it's hurting. It's hurting a lot of people in the industry, and I blame the cover prices. $4.99,
That's
$5.99, $5.99. I blame their editorial for spoiling things, like
yeah.
the end of Civil War II.
Oh, yeah.
Has been spoiled for
They
over
have
a
it
month.
on Facebook. Their
Well,
official channel.
Well, that's something totally different. I just mean in the books, like put your books out on time, so it's not. So then you can release Infamous Iron Man
Yeah.
and spoil that Tony Stark's dead.
Yeah.
You know?
The problem is that they pushed Civil War back, and now we don't have the end of that. And the ones that were scheduled to come out right after that still came out.
Right.
So that we know all this shit that we're like,
It's-
okay, Tony Stark's dead.
It's what happened.
Cool.
With,
Didn't know that was going to happen.
Secret Wars too.
Yeah.
It's happened the same. It's the
Exactly.
same thing. It's like
Yeah.
you're ruining your credibility as a product.
What's the point of the event if you're going to do something huge and then the ending doesn't matter? Like what?
Right.
But what? So, because I don't fucking follow Marvel unless we do something, but then I never continue with it. Why are they doing this? Like, why? Like, what? If it doesn't make sense from like two guys who are really into Marvel and have been, is it laziness? Is it just like we can keep pumping this shit out because people are going to buy it, or are they? They can't be that stupid, right?
No. You like it's arrogance, and it's arrogance that people would buy your product no matter what, and it's laziness of
Yeah, I was gonna say
editorial.
laziness.
I'm just imagining like the same way they have the same responses like whenever somebody asks me why I'm always late. It's like, sorry.
But you know what?
Because I'm me.
Somehow I fuck this up.
But Dan,
It's never the same way. Either.
here's my maybe. Okay, let's look at silver lining here.
There's no
DC saw
silver
what they were.
lining.
Well, hear me out. I know. DC looked at what had happened, and then when we got Rebirth, and Rebirth is great.
Well,
And-
because DC's self-aware. You know,
They are.
they looked at their product and they said, "All right, it's not connecting with fans."
Indeed.
Marvel will not do that. Marvel's not
Really?
looking at their product and they're not realizing that they're not connecting with fans.
You don't think dismal sales, and you don't think that the retailers are going to stop purchasing because of
that is the only thing that has a chance of fixing it.
That's
but
what- yeah.
because of gigantic stores like Midtown Comics, for example, like they will always order a ton because of variants. 1 in 500s, 1 in 1,000s. People will always order up to get the variant
Right.
to make the money on it because of deep discounts. Like you can order. You were originally going to order 25, but you can get 45 for the price of 25. Of course, you're going to order 45.
Right.
So it's like all of those things artificially inflate the sales charts. They're not ultimately reflecting, how much is being actually sold in the stores.
I'd like to theorize part of what Marvel's like the difference between Marvel and DC in the comics is directly because of the difference of Marvel and DC in the movies. Because Marvel does so well in the movies, they crush it at the movie theater. So Disney's like, oh man, okay, we'll just we're probably not even looking at what the comics are doing at all because it's such a smaller market,
right?
And then Marvel's like, oh yeah, well people like these characters, so they were in the movie. Let's give them another book. There's going to be 3 Doctor Strange books now because Doctor Strange, everybody likes that shit,
right?
And so
the new book sucks.
Yeah.
Wait, there are 3 Doctor Strange books now?
There's 2 right
There's
now.
2. Yeah.
There were 3 though.
Although I like the one.
Well, the main one's fine.
The regular
Yeah, the main one.
Yeah, the regular one's fine by Jason Aaron.
Yeah. But anyway, they released I thought there were 3.
No, there was like a movie prelude. Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
I thought there was like Doctor Strange.
Oh, it was a one shot, The Mystic's Apprentice, which they released the same week as the Sorcerer Supreme #1.
Okay.
And they're both it would cost you like $10 to get both books.
That's ridiculous.
So stupid. A, drop the price. B, ship one week and ship the next one the next week.
Yeah.
Why are you putting them both on the shelf
I
at the
don't
same
want 2
time?
at the same time.
And why do you want to make people choose?
Yeah.
Like some people can't afford to buy both that week.
No, they can't.
Yeah, like DC, what, $2.99?
$2.99.
First week it's out.
$2.99.
And then
everything's $2.99 except for
that's
the
awesome.
Young Animals and All Star Batman.
Yeah.
My one of
Vertigo.
my friends works for. It's one of those nerdy kind of like all-encompassing pop culture magazines. Forgive me, I forget the name of it. He shot it at our podcast at one point, but he said something similar about Marvel. He said that they are basically abandoning their classic fan base in order to get MCU readers. So because
That's
new
what they're
Marvel
trying to do.
Cinematic Universe people who come into the comic book shops to read books about their favorite characters don't know how much comics cost. So if they throw the $5.99, $4.99, $10 out there, ignorant, non-comic book readers say, "Oh, well, this is a steal."
The whole comic for only $5? Wow.
See, the problem with that, there's a million problems, but the biggest problem is those people don't understand the way the industry works.
Exactly.
They're not going to come back the next week or the next month, or maybe they do come back the next week and then they get mad because the next issue's not there.
Right.
Because
exactly.
we're a society of binging.
Yeah.
They don't understand how it works. Losing the what they're doing is they're losing their middle-aged males.
Right.
They're not connecting with the characters. And every classic character is being remade into a female or a person of color.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with those characters. I just think that you should give them their own identities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Invincible Iron Man book. Why isn't it called Invincible Ironheart?
Right, because she's Ironheart.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
Ironheart.
And then Don't Kill Tony Stark. Put out a Tony Stark book.
Do we know that?
Or not.
Do we
You
know
don't
that
have to have
he
a Tony
said
Stark. People like Iron Man, so yeah, maybe you want to have him in the books. But you don't even have to have
But
yeah.
if you don't have it, and he's not in the Avengers, and because the Avengers is unrecognizable, these older guys have been following these characters for decades.
Yeah.
Go into the stores and they don't see their characters anymore.
Right.
They're gonna quit. They're not gonna buy it. So many people put the new stuff down.
Yeah, I get that. You need to have the diversity thing in the comic books. That is 100%. I'm behind that.
Yes.
I think we talked about this before.
We have talked, and Jared especially is outspoken, and I agree with him that as much as I push saying, look, I'd love to see some, disabled, people. You should not be putting out. What was it? The transgender alters. Don't put out a comic just for the sake of putting out a comic with a transgender. You've got to put thought into the plot. Whereas, Faith is a great example. Not that obese is but an obese woman.
Right.
I think it's a well-written comic. I really like it.
Oh, the face great.
I don't like I've read the Alter. I'm not liking how Alters is going.
Oh, really? I haven't read this night.
But I agree with Jer. Don't put it out just for the sake of saying, oh, we have a black character, we have a disabled character, we have,
Yeah. It's just.
It's like a fucking cast of Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I feel like people in that category, in that demographic, should feel kind of insulted that they're
Right.
being pandered to in that way, and that they're not discerning enough to tell whether it's good fiction or not.
Exactly.
They're like, oh, I should want to buy this because I'm transgendered or black, whatever. Big Man Plans, terrific book. Didn't do that because it's the guy's he's a little fella, but that's a really important part of the story. So
it wasn't. This is the little Punisher.
Yeah.
Right.
This is Big Man.
yeah.
It's like how, and what was cool, and Greg, that's a good point. What was cool about Big Man Plans is how his experience as a little person shaped the character that he became. You know, it created that. It was an integral part of that story. Where Alters, it's just like, oh, here's a person who is transgendered. You know, that I mean, I haven't followed it, but from the first book, and I'll read. The second one came out, correct?
Yeah.
The third one hasn't.
Yeah, I liked because we talked about the book already. But I wouldn't say that I felt like that was as much like a here's a transgender book for the sake of it. Like it seems like they were like taking the superhero thing and wrapping it up in that kind of alter ego.
Yes.
I mean, obviously it's called altered, but that's the
Yeah.
point. But like, I didn't think it was. I don't know.
But
It wasn't. It was just sort of.
It wasn't like here's Black Spider-Man. Now
Yeah.
he's black.
yeah,
It was like this person,
there's a connection to it. But you wish. I mean, I wished that connection ran a little bit deeper.
No, I agree. Yeah. But I don't know. You're right.
Yeah. It's better than
I mean,
that.
all of this stuff, everything we're talking about now, came up in our conversation with Pat, where he was saying that, that there's absolutely some sloppiness in the industry, and that they are using the movies are making so much money, right? But it's not necessarily translating to higher comic book sales, because we were talking about how being a kid and being sort of whatever ostracized or for a weird little kid who liked comics, and now we're going to the movies with the same people who we fucking fought with, or us sharing a theater with them, and it's like, well, those people aren't gonna. It's not like they're becoming comic book fans. They're just action movie fans who go to see an action movie.
Entertainment. Right.
And
Reading
so
a comic book is a very different experience than watching a television show or sitting through a
It's
movie.
an investment too.
right, and in the same way that Jared and I have talked about a handful of times, the difference between Metallica and Megadeth, and why Megadeth is, they've just continued to kill it, where Metallica, it's like, well,
A lot of your original fans are like, this sucks.
like, man, like, you guys, they're just kind of resting on their laurels, we can do this and people are going to buy it regardless. And maybe Marvel's doing the same thing, where DC's just,
I definitely think
DC's
you're-
hungry. They've stayed hungry.
Yeah.
Very hungry.
Because that movie money, that's the money they want, and they're not getting it.
No,
Well,
They keep fucking up.
not when they're.
they are disengaged with what's going on. I sat when I was down in Baltimore at the retailer convention, and their vice president of sales, or whatever the fuck he is, he got up there, gave a presentation, said sales are great, best numbers ever, we're really excited about everything that's coming out, blah blah blah. Like, showed no signs of worry, didn't seem to care, like that. He knew that the people in the room were laughing. He didn't seem to care. We're all like looking at each other like, this fucking guy? Did he just say that? So, I don't know. Like, they have success because of all those things I mentioned earlier, variant covers, deep discounts. They also, like, they put comics in those, like, the fuck are they? Those like mail order things?
The polybags?
No, it's like you like subscribe to it and you get like a package of shit.
Those-
Loot Crate.
Yeah,
Loot
yeah,
Crate.
crates. Yeah. They put their books in the crates now, and like we gave 200,000 copies to Loot Crate, and so we're gonna count that as number of books sold.
Right.
Like that's not an accurate reflection of what's going on in the stores. And the problem with that is the industry will only continue to go on if both Marvel and DC succeed.
Yeah.
You need both of them to succeed. We talk about all these cool like indie books because that's our show, but we wouldn't have these books if we didn't have the sales that Marvel Comics and DC Comics bring in.
Yeah.
And when one is not pulling their weight, the industry suffers because for me as a retailer, I don't make as much money. So I have to limit what I can buy. So that means I take less chances on indie books.
You know what's funny is that well, I guess we're taking a picture. That's not what's funny. The funny thing is that
Thanks, Rob.
like because a few years ago I would have said the opposite. Like DC, what the fuck are you doing? 52 kind of like New 52. Whatever, people aren't into it. Marvel's killing it right now. There's a bunch of cool characters. We got a bunch of awesome books coming out.
Yeah, it's so funny how it's
they flip-flop.
They
It's
did.
really weird.
They did. They flip-flopped. But Marvel is losing market share. I will say that, and maybe that will be the wake-up call they need to get their shit together.
I'm really hoping that they'll use that.
Their market share has suffered. DC is, the big dick of the pie chart.
Yeah.
And there's only so long. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, can you imagine 2 years ago, before we knew about Rebirth, that this would have happened?
I never
2 or
would've
3
thought
years ago, MCU's in its prime. Marvel Comics are still selling strong, and DC's in the shitter, especially with New 52 winding down. Can you imagine where we'd be right now? But I mean, I guess there's waves of popularity every 10 years or every 8 to 10 years.
I mean, there's definitely waves, but you would think that they understand how the waves work and just do the right thing.
You'd think that people wouldn't vote for Trump, but they do. Putting that out there.
But in the same way that these movies that are intensely popular right now have decades of history.
Yeah.
So these characters are established, and there's a lot of that reservoir, that well is really deep of good material to draw from, to then put on screen and pull in everybody from new fans to old fans. If they don't stay up on their game, like that, they're taking from something that is going to dry up eventually, unless they continue to put good stuff back into that well or that reservoir.
Well, I'd say that it's almost like they planted seeds a long time ago, and all those seeds are now 30-year-old people.
Yeah,
and who are like, oh man, I know these stories because this is the story I remember coming out when I was a kid, and now it's on the screen. So like, if you don't plant the seeds of the story in the comic books, if you have a bunch of shit where it's like, oh no, we haven't all been, you don't know what any of the Avengers are, like, I don't know, all these new characters that aren't their own characters, then you haven't planted any seeds, and then in 30 years you're not going to have your fruit movies.
Yeah. I don't even think it's going to take 30 years.
Yeah, probably
because at the rate that these mostly really good films are coming out, they're pretty solid for.
Oh, yeah.
I'd say greater than 85% are pretty good. Or really good. If they want to keep doing that, they want to keep putting out, a couple movies a year.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to take 30 years for them to fucking dry that well up. I think it'll be much quicker than that.
There's a lot of history, that they can go to, but they do need new ideas. They need to be fresh and they need to reflect the times too. Like a lot
there's
of
not going to be Captain America, Civil War 2.
Yeah. I really want them
Cubed.
It's not a new thing.
Really, I would love. I know that Joseph Gordon-Levitt was working on Sandman.
I know someone's doing Sandman.
Someone's doing Sandman.
Wait,
I've been
he's-
waiting for that.
He's not attached to it anymore.
That's what I thought. Yeah, because
from what I hear, it's just a mess in pre-production.
It is a
It's
mess.
like
Wait, who's out of Sandman?
Really hard to develop.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He was going to produce it by that. bankroll at least. But he's since pulled out just because it's a massive clusterfuck.
You can't tell that story in a movie.
You can't.
It should be.
It has to be a Netflix
series.
or HBO series.
Unless you do like some sort of goddamn Harry Potter thing, get some people like really goddamn
It doesn't
invested.
Sandman is not Harry Potter.
Sandman is not. It doesn't have that amount of fan base or budget. It's going to have to be some Netflix, HBO.
Yeah.
So maybe you guys could educate me and
Amazon.
perhaps other listeners who don't. So was Harry Potter's fan base established, well established before the first movie?
Oh yes,
It
definitely.
was a really big popular kids book, especially since it wasn't done yet when they started doing the movies.
Harry
Right.
Potter sold more than the Bible. Harry Potter was the first book
Well, it's hard to say how many Bibles sold.
I know,
That's
but
the thing. Like people are like, best-selling books of Bibles. Like,
but
nobody knows that.
Well, I mean, true. But given
Fair
since
point.
they started recording since the 1700s, basically since 16 Gutenberg Press, and since they've actually been recording things like that. Brits and Germans.
No. The Bible. There's no official number on the Bible. I know that for a fact.
In England? In England, they have
Maybe
records.
English, but I mean.
But I mean, my point is okay. Let's even limit it to
Worldwide.
England. It is.
This Bible shit is worldwide.
Yeah, but I mean, and
It's dateless.
I don't want to hold that as to such a high standard because unfortunately, 50 Shades of fucking Grey sold more than Harry Potter. Because housewives are terrible.
Because people like porn, man.
Yeah, well, people like porn that don't admit to masturbating.
You know how
You all are liars.
You know how you sell some shit? You have porn and you market it as not porn.
Yeah.
And man, you will sell a lot of copies of whatever that is.
Twilight fan fiction. That's how she started. But my point is that you know Harry Potter was huge and good for her, man. She's awesome.
Okay, so that was already.
That was well.
It was a
out.
thing before
Sandman,
the movie.
I mean, keep in mind that Sandman came out in the 80s. So,
Right, and it's been.
I mean, it's more of a cult favorite, than Blockbuster.
Well,
I mean, it's
definitely
coming
a
to
cult,
its own,
but
yeah.
it's become a classic.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like it has definitely become a must read for comic book.
It's in my
fans.
top 5, which, by the way, we have to do for Chris.
Yeah, I know. I have it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah.
To something else.
So moving on.
Thanks, Dan.
Marvel, fuck you.
Marvel, get your shit
Get your shit together
Yeah.
because you're really hurting. You're really hurting the people that sell your goddamn products.
Who love your products.
So, we talked about this. Dan, you weren't here when we talked about. We're going to do we're going to try to do a little at least one bit of most of the segments, except for the Hateful Haiku. Like every episode, so not everybody goes the same episode.
So that way we hit every segment per episode.
Right. That was
So,
that's kind of a long shop talk. So we'll do one what Yin's doing and one fuck him. How about that?
Okay.
Who wants to do it? Greg, what Yin's doing? You haven't talked for a while.
Well, there just came into a little bit of this with the plugs early on, but we just played a show, and you guys can check out our, this is the first thing off the top of my head because it's still in recent memory. But yeah, you could check out our most recent Midnight Rose performance. Jared and myself and Jared played a week ago today, and by the time this airs again, it'll be up online for some people to see a second time because a lot of people were there at the time. It's a good crowd at the Moose last week.
It was good. It was fun.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that, and then I don't know. I was pretty excited about that because it was the first time that I don't want to say the first time, but it's not often that like we're playing and like not recording ourselves, or videotaping, or like arranging to have video done. And so we just walked in, played, walked out, found out we've got a live album and live concert video coming up.
It's the only time we've ever all played instruments together.
Yeah, that is true.
What did you play?
Bass.
Cool.
Because Greg is a guitar player, actually.
Yeah. So for that.
Plays everything.
Moving on again. So
You do.
it's fun to play different instruments, but on this one we
He's played a skin flute.
you don't know where my talents end, Daniel-san. Just saying.
Good reply.
Yeah. No, it was kind of perfect. Like with the Thin Lizzy thing, of course. Like Jared is a bass player, and Phil, who's the singer for, I don't know his last name, but the singer for Thin Lizzy. Milana, yeah. So he was their bass player and singer, so that was our roles for that thing. Jared and I played twin lead guitars, passing off back and forth.
We actually really looked like Thin Lizzy because it's a black guy in the front playing bass, and it's two like long-haired white guys playing guitars, and then no one knows what the drummer looks like.
Yeah.
No one ever knows what the drummer looks like.
I never see your drummer.
No one knows what our drummer looks like either, right?
In the past.
Here's the secret: there's no such thing as a drummer.
Oh, I know.
Everyone who is a drummer that's like a famous drummer is a put on by the studio.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying. In the past 2.5 years that I've known you guys, I've seen him twice.
Did you really see him?
Probably not.
Right, that's-
Magic eye.
Exactly.
You have to cross your eyes to see each other.
Which one of those things where like somebody, like whenever somebody talks about an event, they just intentionally lie about it. So you're like, no, you remember there was like that guy there who was like like long hair, and tall. Then you're like, oh yeah, sure. And then you create that event, and it didn't actually happen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what drummers are.
That reminds me of like 50% of the arguments I've had and 100% of the relationships I've been in. Remember that fucking time you did that fucking... Like, no, I don't.
The repetition.
Yeah.
Remember that time? No. Remember that time? No. Remember that time? Yeah, I guess.
Member berries.
Tired of saying,
Oh my god. Member berries
Member
are
berries.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Remember Corwellian Corvette? Remember Kudo
I
Shahan?
remember.
Oh, man. Okay, so that's great. Greg was...
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
I remember.
It was good. I personally have a fucking... We were talking about this earlier. If you fucking ride your bike...
Fuck you.
Run stop signs /
Oh, my-
stoplights. Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Because
You're the
you were...
worst.
You were put... The reason why this is dangerous is not because it's only dangerous to you, which it is, idiot. But it's because people react when they're in a car much more severely if they're about to hit a bicyclist than if it's another car. Like, because as soon as you see a bike in front of you, you're like, oh, I don't want to murder somebody, like, for sure.
Yeah.
And so whenever you fucking you run out in the middle of the goddamn street, you're making people swerve way more than they would if, like, if another car does, you just, like, slam your brakes and honk the horn and you give them the finger. Like,
yeah,
whatever. You're not, like, worried that you're going to fucking kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And, like, that, it puts everyone in so much more danger when you break the rules on a bike. I don't care if you're like, oh, it doesn't matter if you're on the sidewalk. It fucking does matter if you're on the sidewalk because, like, what if someone opens the door to a business and you have to go into the street? You get hit by a fucking bus.
You can hit
Like,
pedestrians who are walking.
You can run people over, like little kids. Like, yeah, you just follow the fucking rules, and that's my fuck 'em. Fuck you if you don't do that.
That plays into exactly something I've been thinking about, which is people just aren't afraid of shit anymore. Like, we have gotten this. We live in the U.S. in Pittsburgh, as in most other cities. We are so safe from everything,
right?
Yeah.
Like, we really don't. There's like almost no danger,
right,
or no perceived danger.
You have better than like a 95% chance of leaving in the morning and coming home at night.
Right. I would say much greater than 95. There's
we're
a
not
less
in
than
a
5%
hurricane
chance.
Area. We're not in a severe tornado.
Exactly.
area.
Like, we don't have natural disasters. Anyway,
No
Right,
earthquakes.
but we're all lulled. Not all of us. Not the ones of us who continue to think.
Right.
But so many of us are lulled into this like sense of like safety, and then once you're so safe, then it becomes like entitlement. So once you're absolutely safe, it's like, well, now I don't have to worry about anything. Now this is what I deserve, right? And so, in the same way with the bikes, just kind of doing whatever the fuck they want, but then being like usually, in my experience, the really self-righteous people who will fucking word you up, scream at you, flick you off because like you veered into a bike lane or whatever. There's some perceived slight. Then you have people like I just witnessed recently. There's a woman walking through a crosswalk, right? 2 white lines. And it's fucking traffic, man. You have these 5,000-pound monsters with engines that contain 200 horsepower that like could smash you to smithereens. This woman has the audacity to walk slowly through as like a car is speeding towards her. Like maybe they were texting, who knows? Right. And she's holding her finger up and pointing at it like as it's barreling towards her. And I was like, you are the dumbest fucking person. You think that this car is absolutely has to stop. Like, no, they don't, dummy. You're in between a couple lines
that are
of paint. It's paint.
That's why
you're in an imaginary safe space and you're yelling at this car like,
get out of the way, idiot.
Yeah.
Just don't walk out.
Yeah.
And then she turns around and starts screaming at them. It's like, who's the idiot here?
This isn't Tiananmen Square. Just like, that thing's going to...
Yeah.
That's why I can't drive in Oakland anymore. I mean, I lived there when I was a grad student, and I can't drive down there anymore because they're so... By the way, small fuck 'em, entitled people.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we all deal with them every day, but from poor Rob who works at Target and an entitled woman who feels that she's entitled to, a Nintendo NES.
Yeah. Shout out to Rob, by the way.
Yeah, Rob, you're awesome.
Yeah.
Or
Rob is proficiency.
Yeah. Or the people that I see at the doctor's office who are on Medicaid and demand to see a doctor, even though they didn't make an appointment just because they have the sniffles, Or the people that go to an ER because they bring their whole family because they have a cold. And they feel like they are important. And look, you know what? Everyone is dealing with shit, people. don't think that you're better or worse off than anyone else, because someone's always worse off than you.
But I think that this all stems from like not having shit else to worry about. Like everyone feels so safe that it's like, now I'm so safe. I'm going to start asserting exactly how I need the rest of the world to be, around me.
Yeah, the entitlement also though comes from like kind of the idea of it's like the episode of Black Mirror where the people are on the treadmills.
Yeah.
It's like you have your avatar or whatever, and it's like you. Everything that they consume is saying like, you are special.
Yeah.
You should buy this new hat for your avatar, which is unique, and no one else has this hat. And like it's not only the safety. The safety is like the base, which allows all the rest of it to happen.
Right.
But like now that we have the safety, it's people who are getting hit every single day with the TV and the fucking radio and everything, and saying like, you're special because you're smart enough to buy this thing from us. Like it. All the time, you're hearing things that are saying like you are unique, when it's like everyone else is hearing the same shit.
Right.
Like, yeah, and this sense of like exceptionalism, and it's like, listen, less than 100 years ago, there was 1/7 of the population of the world.
Yeah.
Now there are 7 billion. There are 7 times as many people. Just by sheer numbers,
Like,
the chances of you being exceptional have decreased substantially.
Like there's definitely someone out there that looks exactly like you.
Yeah. Yep.
So, for sure.
Absolutely.
So much so-
like almost where they could walk into a room with your friends, and you'd be like, oh, your friends wouldn't notice until they started speaking.
Yep. Yeah, that just recently happened to me at Whole Foods. Had a 5-minute conversation with somebody in prepared foods and I was sitting there thinking like, fuck, did we have all these experiences? Until at the end he was like, Tim, it was great to see you. And I was like, whoa. I was like, glad you did that, sir. I'm not Tim.
I'm not crazy. Thank you.
Like, woo.
But
Yeah.
unless you're Tim.
Unless I am Tim. Right.
You thought you were sleeping this whole time.
Right.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's also a fair point.
I am Tim's sudden wake-up call.
Anyway, yeah. Yes. What else?
Yeah, so
What else we got? Fucking
Fuck
tired
Tim.
people.
And fuck Tim too.
and Tim, whoever the fuck Tim is.
Yeah.
Oh, so we've been completely forgetting to answer Chris GAMRAT'S question. But
Yeah.
shout out to Chris. He listens all the time. We're sorry that we have been so
I wrote down my
lax.
5.
You wrote down your 5?
I
Okay,
did.
so yeah, well, actually it's probably good. I don't off the top of my head have 5, so Becky, you can go ahead and
Oh, okay. Give me a sec.
what was 5 comics?
It was the top 5 comics, and let's hope that I wrote them
Okay.
down. Give
we
me,
could maybe each come up with, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't have to do them all now, too. Like,
That's true.
like,
Yeah.
what if we
Yeah.
have like one person do, or 1 or 2 people?
Oh, we could do one like every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah.
You can go this time. How
If
about
I can find it. I can't find it.
Yeah,
So
we need some
you know what?
band music.
If I can do my next episode, that'd be perfect, because I know I have it. Oh, here we go. Okay, I have mine.
Okay.
So number 1 is actually Sandman. Sandman is when I started reading X-Men as a kid, and which is also my top 5. But Sandman is probably my first one that I branched out of DC. I was never a DC fan as a kid, but someone recommended Sandman to me when I was like in 8th grade. And I think I mentioned it last episode, when Pat was here, because I said I was on the soccer bus reading Sandman, and I actually was kind of embarrassed about it, and I hid it because I was really uncool. So Sandman is my number 1.
Okay.
Number 2 is East of West. I love East of West, and it's a nicely done comic, and in terms of, as a former political scientist, I'm amazed at how they split up the country. From the well-to-do kingdom of African Americans down near New Orleans to the dirt poor but proud Texans, in the People's Republic of China in California. So, I mean, there's a lot more, but I'm amazed at how they set the series up. It's still going. I've heard complaints that it's being drug out. It might be, but I think
no way.
no. But
No way. No. It's
an investment to read.
It's so early on in the story.
It is.
Like, there's so much more that's
What,
happening.
26 or 7 issues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on the sixth trade. 6
The
straight.
5th one.
Really?
Okay.
Okay.
The 6th one just came
Well,
out.
one, yeah, that's right. Okay,
The orange
I
cover.
just got the
Yeah.
6th one.
Yeah, it's great.
But you know what? It's not some. You really do have to kind of invest your reading and time into it like you were reading a novel.
Right.
But it's well worth it.
Okay.
So that's 2. Number 3 is X-Men, which was the first comic I ever read. I grew
Well,
up
you have
on
to specify what era X-Men.
in early 90s.
Okay, cool. So X-Men.
Yeah, I would walk down the gigantic, what my friends have termed Turney Hill of Death in Penn Hills, down to Rhode Island Road. There used to be a comic book store on Rhode Island Road, and it was shitty. They used to sell these racist pogs for against
Rhode
O.J.
Island.
Simpson.
Oh
And
my God.
Remember those pogs?
No, I don't, but that would be amazing to have.
Yeah.
Right
So
now.
I remember that going
juice.
on because that was when I first picked up my first X-Men comic, and I was their only female young girl customer. X-Men is number 3, and that was honestly my first real series that I got into as a kid.
Okay.
Number 4 is Hellblazer. I love Hellblazer, and I even like Lady Constantine. I got into Lady Constantine in the late 90s. And last is a tie. There are 2 political comics, Mouse, which is written in German about the Holocaust.
Very good.
I've used it to teach German history. It's excellent. If you've never read Mouse, please read it.
The mice are the Jews, and the cats are the Nazis.
Cats are the Nazis. Yeah,
It's fantastic.
it's a wonderfully written, illustrated, and by a person who lived through it.
Yeah.
It will make you cry. It'll make you laugh. There are funny parts. There are sad parts. By a person who actually lived through it, and it's tied with V for Vendetta, another political comic. So those are my 5.
All right. I decided while you were saying that segment is called Chris's List.
Chris's List.
Sweet.
Or should be the Chris List.
So
Oh, the Chris list is
The
better.
Chris list.
Yeah.
I was thinking of something the same, the Fedka Zone.
the
Yeah.
Fed Chris.
Time
So-
for the
So, quick recap. Sandman, East of West, X-Men, Hellblazer, and then a tie for Mouse and V for Vendetta.
And that was the Chris List.
The Chris. So there you go, Chris. I know. I've been talking to Chris a little bit
Well
more
done, sir.
through private messages, and he's like, "Did you guys
Ooh,
forget?" And I'm like, "Do me a favor, submit the question again on Facebook. We'll make sure we get to it." So
Well, it was worth the wait. Now he's his own segment.
Yeah. We've honored you.
he's a very nice guy.
Oh, Chris is great. We were on the rifle team together.
I've heard so much about your rifle thing.
We used to steal a lot of stuff. Anyway,
You made your own Wendy's.
yeah, we stole enough stuff to. All right, I guess I'll just say it. So in high
out
school, we were on the rifle team, and for some reason, somebody stole something from a Wendy's because we'd go to away matches, and on the way to or from, you would stop at a fast food.
Right.
We always stopped at Wendy's because everybody loves Wendy's, and so every time we went there, it started with I stole a bunch of straws, like the whole thing full of straws in my pockets, and so because I wanted to make like a really long straw. And we did make it really long. We made a straw that wrapped all the way around the rifle range, like 1.5 times.
Jeez.
So after the straw incident, people started to try to steal more and more straws. So like at some point, someone like literally like went under the counter and took the whole bag of straws, like the big plastic bag of like 100,000 straws. So we had these little lockers that were in the corner of the rifle room. And like the whole, like the bottom 5, like across and down, or probably the bottom 25, not 25, maybe the bottom 10 or 12 lockers were filled with straws from Wendy's. and then it escalated because they're high school kids. People started stealing high chairs and like whole chairs. There was a plan to get a table, but I don't think they ever pulled it off. And then you had to hide that shit on the way home so the coaches didn't see it. So you had to like get it in and out the back door.
That's impressive with the high chair.
Yeah, oh yeah. They had both kinds of high chairs too. They had the one you put on the seat and the whole full.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining. I was imagining like the wooden fucking.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
they
wow.
had that.
That is
too.
impressive.
Yeah, I did not do that. I can't say I did that one, but
Monkey.
he didn't do that.
Really? I
No.
think he claimed to that.
I actually wish he was here. So I can...
So you
No,
can-
he didn't do that. I don't think so.
He lied.
Yeah.
I don't want to accuse him of lying because I actually
Monkey fucking liar.
no, I don't want to accuse him of that because I just remember all the stories of you making
Yeah.
basically but I probably misheard.
So, I don't know what that was. Anyway.
So what Chin's doing in the past.
Yeah, let's go to...
Whatching's done.
No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Let's go to the books. So let's start with. I have Violent Love written down first. We can go in any order.
I can do that.
Okay.
So Violent Love is an image book written by, and I'm going to butcher this name because it's not Czech, Slovak, Russian, or Polish, Frank Barbieri?
Yes.
That sounds good.
Illustrated by Victor Santos. I really like this book. It's a noir kind of flash book. The first issue is called The Ballad of Daisy Jane. Oh, designed, sorry, by Dylan Todd. What does design mean? Sorry.
I don't know.
Huh, okay.
I should know that. I don't know what
Is
that
it a different
means.
word for another job?
Could be.
It's not always in the book, so I don't know what it means.
Right.
Page layout. I don't know.
Oh, I think that's like titles and stuff.
Okay, all right.
Like like not the way this is set up, like this first page here. I think
right.
that's design.
Oh, okay. So like kind of a layout?
The fonts and stuff.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you see this young girl named Penny visiting her grandfather, and she notices a wanted sign on his wall, and he retells this story. It's a flashback. I think it's based in 1987. The girl visits her grandfather. She's got the headphones on, and he kind of rips it off her head to tell the story of Rock and Daisy. And we don't know the guy's relationship. Do we know if he's Rock, maybe, or?
I think he was a cop, wasn't he?
My theory.
Or was he-
Well, I have theories about that. Well, it's just
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
Okay. So basically, it's this book sells itself as a criminal romance, and it's this first issue tells the story of Daisy and how she went from a waitress to a killer, basically. Her father gets involved with the mob, and all she wants to do is make a living, go to college, and she tries to reconnect with her father, who gets involved with the mob, and when he tries to go straight by leaving the mob, and Daisy's all excited to come back from college to be with her father, he has actually been killed by trying to leave the organization. And we know from the very beginning that she becomes a criminal with this other man named Rock, but this is her backstory, this first issue.
What? Yeah. The thing I liked about this first issue is that the story could have been itself like a brief, maybe 2 or 3 comic books, or like a short story, like her origin story is in itself its own.
Daisy's,
yeah. It's almost like it's like the beginning of Up, where like, you could make that whole thing into its own thing.
That was an entire movie worth of emotions in 30 seconds.
That's maybe like the best 5 minutes of
it is.
cinema.
It definitely is.
I don't know. Anyway.
I cried.
It's great. But yeah, this is similar. Like this is her origin story. Maybe in the next one we'll get his origin story.
We'll get Rock's, yeah.
But yeah, it's.
Has the second one come out yet?
Not yet. No.
Okay. But you know what? It's well drawn. Yeah. It's well colored, and it's well written. And
well, African American.
Oh God, we're not going back to that. And the colorist is excellent because when it's just Daisy and her grandfather, it's light colors, and when it's the mob trying to torture someone, it's very dark and red, and it's just red and black. Well, I can't wait to read more.
Yeah.
And I'd love to find out who the grandfather is, if it's Rock or if it's someone related.
Well, my theory is that because one character you never see. I think that yes, it didn't say it's her grandfather. Did it say that?
No, it's a friend.
It's a
a friend.
Like he's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not. They don't say who exactly he is.
Well, I thought he might be the. Didn't you say he might be the cop?
She just says Mr. Lou.
Okay. All right.
Like they don't really go any further than that.
Okay.
Saying who he is. So anyway.
Well, they said
he
said that they
Rock.
saved his life.
Right, but I think that her mom is the woman.
Okay.
I think that he's Rock, and that like she's not his daughter, but these are the two main characters are him and her mom, who drops. You don't see her
Right.
at all. Like the whole time you don't see her, and she drops the girl off.
When he starts telling the story, they show a flashback between Rock and Daisy.
Yeah.
Look at the hair and the eyes; they look very similar.
It is very similar.
Oh, definitely.
So that's why I thought. I mean, he said they saved my life, but that doesn't mean anything. He could just be,
There's this, this scene of them shot up and dead here, in
Right.
the midst. But I'm thinking that's the story, but that's not what actually happened.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that he's Rock and her mom is Daisy.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's very well done. I like it. I'm definitely going to read more.
Especially to just reinforce my. Actually, you know what? Yeah. Because never mind. What I was going to say is probably wrong. Because
What were you going to say?
her dad looks a lot like the old man at the beginning, but that wouldn't make any sense because if he's Rock, then he's not related to Daisy.
Well, and plus, didn't that guy like chop something off?
Yes, yeah. But I mean,
What's the mob guy's name?
I thought he did that to the grandfather.
yeah.
So that, well, we'll see. I mean, I don't want to
I
make
thought it
too
was
many.
Daisy's dad. He did that too.
Got set on
Oh,
fire, didn't he?
Daisy's dad, but not
Yeah.
Penny's.
Oh, yeah, Daisy's dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying that Daisy's dad might be her grandfather, but or he looks like a lot of the old man in the beginning. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't make sense because if the guy in the beginning is Rock, then he's not her.
Yes.
That wouldn't. Never mind. Forget I said that. But her grandfather does look like the old guy in the beginning.
Right. Well, you know what? I like it.
Maybe the artist just draws old white men all the same.
Yeah.
It's about time.
No, I really enjoyed that book. It's,
Yep.
like a Pulp Fiction type feel almost.
Yeah.
Bonnie and Clyde. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was well done, and it captured a lot of good emotions, different emotions as you were reading it, and
Yeah.
it was a good value too.
Yeah, definitely.
It was like a double issue.
There's something about this story, though, this kind of story, like the Bonnie and Clyde story, that really attracts people. And it brings up these feelings of like romance and connection that even straight-laced people
Yeah.
want.
Because romance is kind of like its own form of abandon. So when you have this thing where it's like, oh man, this person has driven me to do something that's not just like love them with abandon, but like do something crazy too. And,
Right.
like fuck everything else. Like it's just literally just the two of us against the world. Like there's something very attractive.
I mean,
Yeah, but even though... Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, everyone, I mean, the main, well, Daisy just wanted to be a college student. She just wanted to get an education. She wanted to be clean. And we know she became a criminal. I mean, everyone's had that moment where you are so angry and you've got all that adrenaline that you think that you can do anything. And I've had those moments. I've had moments where I've wanted to kill doctors. I've had moments where I've wanted to rip out IV poles. And I've done it. But... just a little incident can turn a person. Just one
That's what the Joker.
day.
That's what the Joker says.
Yeah.
It just
I mean-
takes one bad day,
One bad day.
and your life could go any which way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Daisy's father's choice to try to, run a clean life and, affected her to become a criminal.
Right, but but also
Sorry. Good.
this story. I don't know. I think it's interesting that it's so attractive to people, even though like Bonnie and Clyde murked a bunch of people. Like in this story here, like they presumably murked a bunch of people.
Right.
But you have people who are like pretty like they probably don't have any. They don't romanticize like murdering people, but they see this relationship. It's like, oh man, this is so attractive being with, whatever, another person intimately, and doing these things like robbing banks and like what gets us excited about that? What
Yeah.
gets people excited about having somebody? Maybe it's that feeling of me against the world, us against the world, me and you against the world. Like we can do anything together. But then that anything also involving like robbing banks and killing people.
Yeah.
Maybe we all just want to fucking rob banks and kill people. Like maybe that's it.
He doesn't actually. So I was just looking for this as you said that. I don't think he doesn't say that they killed anybody.
Right. I'm just saying that normally, or I guess I
In a
was
story
talking a
like
bit
this.
more about the Bonnie and Clyde experience
Okay.
than
You
like
know-
this, but like that thing that is romanticized.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if I thought harder, like the American,
with Woody Harrelson. And,
right,
Natural Born Killers.
Natural Born
Yeah.
Killers.
Yeah.
Sort of like a more fucked up version of Bonnie and Clyde. But even Jay-Z and Beyonce have that song Bonnie and Clyde or whatever the fuck. You know, you just hear it like and see it over and over again, and people are drawn to it.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I think there's definitely something to that.
I know.
mean,
I'm drawn to it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, God,
I met somebody who's like is a little bit like just a little bit so crazy that they make you rob a bank. Like, oh man, I never thought I could rob a bank. Like, apparently I can, and you're the person that brought that out of me. I don't know what's going on here. Do I like it? Maybe.
There have been times.
definitely.
when
Do
it again.
Yeah.
There have been times, especially in the United States, whenever I sit there looking at my healthcare premium, where I feel like I'm being punished for being sick, and I'm sitting there in the bank like, I could rob this bank.
Or, better yet, in Pittsburgh, the 80-year-old woman who did rob a bank
Oh, yeah.
and
God.
led police on like a 3-hour police chase that never exceeded 45 miles an hour.
Best place chase
I never heard of that one.
ever.
That wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't.
man. It was
like,
fucking great.
What, 9 months ago? Wasn't
No, I think it was a couple years.
Yeah.
Because I was in my old place at the
I know,
time, and I
well-
remember falling down. I'm like,
There have been
love
elderly
this.
people who have just robbed places because they have nowhere else to turn. Like they've said, "Oh, at least in jail I'll get my medicine."
See,
Do you know how sad that is?
I might do that just as like a bucket list thing. You know, if I make it to like 80 or something like that, it's like, guess I'm starting to rob banks.
yeah,
Man, like there's very little like it's gonna. Why would I not?
I don't want
put
to.
me in jail. Like,
Yeah.
It's like put me in jail. What, I'm gonna
Fucking go ahead.
Be in jail for a year and die. Okay, you know, I'm gonna rob
me
some
my-
fucking banks.
Yeah, really.
I'm gonna buy a nice ass car. Everyone's gonna know it was me. It'll be John motherfucking Dillinger.
Even like a bucket list, you have Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a hetero life partner kind of Bonnie and Clyde experience too, where they're racing cars and jumping out of planes, and, you know, just doing crazy shit together, and it's them coming together that I don't know.
Yeah. So it's something about the like adrenaline fueled.
Yeah.
Passion. Passionate relationship. The adrenaline brings out that passion in the relationship.
Yeah,
That's cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's
Are you
good.
guys going to read it?
yeah. I'll definitely.
Let's go around.
Yeah.
You gonna read more?
Yes.
Becky?
Definitely.
Greg?
I found it enjoyable. I will.
Yeah.
Sure.
Dan?
Yeah, I'll read the next one.
You'll? Sorry.
Yeah.
Said Dan. I will also read it again.
All right, we got another unanimous.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Very
Yeah. So
few.
go ahead and get Violent Love. Coming out of the Southside Comics.
Got a few left.
Get Violent Love.
Sold quite a bit of it.
Good.
Let's go right to old Greg. Mayday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Greg.
So
I've got a story about that.
this one's cool. It's so just looking at the cover. I mean, it just looks like something that you'd be kind of proud to have on your shelf. You know what I mean? It's got a cool cover. This is Mayday by. Maybe I should just announce it first.
Got a hammer and sickle on the
Alex
front.
DeCamp.
Yeah, which is not the most obvious thing about it. I mean, I look at this and I see like a face in flames,
Yeah.
sort of. But yeah, there's a strong Russian connection in this story. So
The hammer
they've
and
got the
sickle,
hammer
yeah.
and sickle on the front cover representing that. So Mayday is from Image. Violent Love was also from Image, by the way, as is this. And we've got creators are Alex DeCampi, Tony Parker, and Blonde. Okay. And editors are Brendan Wright and Becca Caden. This is issue number 1 of 5.
I love. Can I say my appreciation for saying this is 1 of 5?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
Cool.
you.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you, folks who decided to include that. That's cool. We know how much we're in for then.
Right.
I like the aesthetic of this and everything. You know, I have to admit it wasn't the easiest thing for me to sink my teeth into. Like
Run us through what happens.
okay, I don't even know if I can effectively, but there's like KGB and CIA stuff there. So like a couple of there's like behind closed doors file folders being passed back and forth. There's some old guy who looks important at his house who gets shot with a dart.
He's a
He's
Russian.
a defector.
He's a defector. Russian
Okay.
defector who
No,
the
no, let-
CIA
let-
is
let him-
protecting.
Okay.
Let Greg go. I love this. Is
Old guy at his house.
We're not describing
Or,
it.
yeah, exactly. Lack thereof. Continue.
So this guy could be anybody, and he gets shot with Gets shot with the dart. It's either poison or it's knocking him out. I don't know yet. Let's turn the page and see what happens. Now we got a couple of young people.
Greg,
Wait, Greg, stop for a second. Greg, I actually slotted this comic for Greg for a specific reason, and tell them why.
This is the cover. This is like the cover that's in color before we turn the page, and then I say like actual details. No, because there's music in there, and there's a strong musical connection with stuff.
There is a playlist.
Yes.
Yeah.
On
That
Spotify.
you can go on Spotify.
You're supposed to listen to it.
Yeah, I was
That's
getting
really cool.
dudes. I was getting to that. Okay. Yeah, I was.
It sounded like you were just reading like the 6 o'clock news.
So this
So some guy got
Greg.
shot in his house.
No.
This
Look,
was
look.
it real?
This
After the break.
this is the preview for
Is
the
there
6
boobs
o'clock
in
news.
Bush? After
This,
the-
Why are we
this,
interrupting? I
look,
was sitting
what
time listening to Greg.
was I doing that poorly? Was I that boring? Okay.
No, I was.
Jared,
Thank you, Jared,
because,
my man.
Because your description was just like, yeah, it was awesome.
Nothing is inaccurate. What I was saying, man, I'm not going to read anymore. I'm not going to say anymore. This sucks. Okay.
No, it was funny.
No.
It was funny.
I'm on your side.
Okay, all right.
I want you to continue,
This
please.
side of the table versus that
All
side of
this
the table.
interrupting that's going
I
on.
think it's funny.
Okay, so it's looking like this guy's got an expensive house, which is sweet because I like to look at expensive things. And then the next page has like lots of pictures. There's hardly any words to look at, but there's a chick on there, and she looks like she's blonde and she's wearing a halter top. And then it looks like she's hitchhiking, but she's not really. She's with some other young kid who, I want to be. And then they put in an 8-track. This 8-track is pink. You later find out when reading the notes section in the back, Becky, which I read, that you said that I wasn't getting to it. It's recorded. Anyway. The 8-track is a copy of Led Zeppelin 4, which was pink.
Yeah.
Aha, so it's a pink 8-track. Anyway, so what's cool is whenever there's a song obviously playing in the background, or in the source music they call it in a movie, whenever there's like you're in a restaurant, there's like a violinist playing so you can hear music. Anyway, whenever there's source music in the story, you see some of the lyrics like buried into the background of the panel, which is really cool. How they do that. So
There's music that's literally in the background.
yeah. So in this one, you're seeing "Hey Hey Mom," all that stuff from Black Dog. Anyway, yeah. Moving on. What is it? Like 2 pages later, full page, naked girl. Oh no, she's got a bandana on, so she's not quite naked.
And this is not
But
Yeah, like a anklet.
oh yeah, she's got an anklet
Don't
too.
forget that. Greg.
Time out.
Yeah.
You guys ever see the movie Color of Night?
Yes, I knew you were
No.
going to reference that.
Okay, it's a Bruce Willis movie, and Ruben Blades is in it. And they're looking at they're like detectives, I think, and they're looking at like a crime scene or something. And there's a naked girl, and Ruben Blades goes, "Nice boosh." So I always think of that when I see something like that.
When you open up to this page, yeah.
She either pees or takes a shit. So
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, so it's looking like these two get mixed up with this girl who's like sort of naive about the fact that she's naked, and there's
She has a mighty boosh.
she has a mighty boosh. There's a
Nice.
there's a
Connection.
there's a Captain Morgan looking guy. If Captain Morgan were about 20 years younger, and
He does look like Captain Morgan.
yeah, he said, "See, I read this," and
See, you didn't.
He definitely didn't. That's why this is the best. Because he's just reading it as we go.
Well, it'd be awesome if like we were videotaping this, and as he was going through it, like, so there's some old guy at his house, like it flashes the defector, like on the bottom of the screen. And it goes on to the next. So these 2 young kids, the Russian spies.
What we should have been doing is, as Greg was... Actually, you know what? Here's what we're doing. Greg, you like say like 2 sentences about what's on the page, and then I'll translate it to what's actually happening.
okay. All right, so so there's a plane. These people in the plane, and one guy says, "Hi, I'm Russian," and one guy's Jack, the other one's Virgil, and they're looks like they're pretty important, and but that's in a different
These are 2 FBI agents that are searching for for a leak in intelligence.
right. So then these young folks with a naked girl, is this the leak?
Those 2 are Russian agents. The naked girl is a hippie that is beginning to try to scam them.
Ah, okay. So she
Probably very diseased.
Yes.
nice bush, not so nice bush after all.
Not Bush.
It's American.
Yeah. Now, what's cool is we got after a couple of pages, we come to this like night scene out in the desert. It looks like
The two Russian spies have decided to go along with these hippies that they've met. Also, they were unknowingly dosed with LSD.
Yes.
Sodium pentothal.
And sodium pentothal, yes.
Yes. So they're lots of colors. There's
Beautiful colors.
Oh, yes.
This so this woman is not an alien based on what Jared just said. So never mind about that.
He actually thought it might be an alien.
This is the two agents are on a combination of LSD and sodium pentothal because they were dosed unknowingly from a thing that they did earlier.
Right. And
Not from the hippies. From the
Oh yeah,
hippies.
that's right. That's right.
Hippies.
and the dude is crawling with ants and then turns into a giant ant, or is he?
This is just an LSD trip.
Okay. So,
None of this is real.
but then they're here and a big light shows up and what is that, an RV? No.
The hippies have stolen their vehicle
Oh man.
After
leaving them and fucking them on.
Right. The girl, the female agent got double teamed.
Yes, and
by
the male
the Captain Morgan looking guy.
And the woman with the mighty boosh took advantage of the male Russian agent.
What? So the woman who was double teamed took advantage.
No.
Oh.
She was taking advantage of the male Russian agent.
Okay.
And the other two hippies were taking advantage of his counterpart agent.
Gotcha. Yes. And then so this guy shows up in an expensive suit over here with a gun, and just as these two are waking up, these are the CIA, and they've just obtained, essentially apprehended the Soviet agents. Yeah, so somebody's pissed, and
they're not happy about it.
Yeah. So
the Soviet agents, by the way, had assassinated their defector early at the beginning of the book.
The guy in the house.
The fat guy in the rope.
Yes.
yeah. Wait, it looks like we got another song. It goes like it's a siren. Okay, never mind. All the W's and E's and O's. So Anyway, so lots of cool stuff happens here. Somebody's held at gunpoint at the very last page.
Yep.
So stay tuned for that. But no. So
in the trunk, the car the hippie stole is
a person.
Is the body of the person that they shot at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Man, there's a lot of dots to connect on this one. So
It is really difficult if you're just flipping through it.
It's difficult to follow if you haven't read it.
No, I will speculatively say that's probably true for those that haven't read it.
He did not read it. Flashes across the screen.
I don't know. Maybe sometimes it's like the discordant. Like I actually sat down with this twice to read through it, which I want to like it a lot. I did try to read this twice though. I'm not lying by saying that.
Maybe you need.
This is a great idea for another segment.
Yeah.
It was called Greg Didn't Read It.
Yeah. That is,
Where Greg explains what he thinks is happening in the comic book without looking out of the words. And then the person, somebody else who read it, is explained, translate what he's trying
great
to say.
segment idea.
Yeah.
Rather than carry on, pretend that he actually reads it, let's make a joke of it.
Okay.
Greg Didn't Read It.
I have to say some things because this is actually my field of work. When I used to be a political scientist, when I did my PhD, it was Eastern European post-communist history and political science. This book is based on this man. I'm showing them a picture of Ion Mihai Pacepa.
Okay.
The author read his autobiography because he was a top KGB Romanian official who defected and wrote an autobiography.
Okay.
And participated in helping the CIA and the FBI obtain other KGB officials and spies who are in the United States. That's what this is based on, and it also has a lot of sex tale about Yasser Arafat. Holy shit. Don't read it. Just read the book if you want to be grossed out about Yasser Arafat's sex life. But also, the whole point, aside from telling like a communist 5-issue history of the KGB defector,
I hope it's not that.
And that's why I really wanted Greg to read it because
I did try.
No,
I tried.
I
It was
didn't
just.
say you didn't.
It was tough to. Okay.
You have your own copy of this. There's no excuse.
The author specifically states that it's based on the autobiography, but he also wanted to say the whole point of listening to the Spotify music playlist is because it's an evolution of rock music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it was.
The notes section was very, very digestible. I read that and I thought that was very fascinating. So I could talk about that. But the story, it was really tough to tell who was on whose. You remember, like, there was a Jerry Seinfeld sketch on one of the episodes where he said like, oh, I hate being in the movie theater during some kind of a suspense movie or something. Who's that guy? Why did they kill him? I thought he was with them.
Is he gonna die?
Oh, he wasn't really with them. He was just pretending to be with them.
I think that episode was on like 2 nights ago.
Really? Okay.
I watched it.
My memory goes back with the Seinfeld. It's been a while since I saw that one. Anyway, so I usually don't get tripped up on that stuff quite as badly, but for some reason I just had a hard time. This isn't me saying don't try this out, because it seems like everybody had a much better time with this story than I did.
Because we had time with it.
Honest to God, I did sit down to read this thing twice, and I couldn't quite attach myself to.
Well, before you read it, I said, Greg, I think you'll really like this one because of the music. Because I know you love music, obviously, and I thought, and I'm not singling you out, I really thought you'd enjoy this because of the playlist aspect of it.
I'll say this.
I told you there were boobs inside.
How about this? How's this for a recommendation? I did enjoy this despite not knowing what was going on at all.
Enough.
Yeah.
I mean, the art, even the LSD, which reminded me of, like, Guar videos and Beavis and Butthead's trippy shit. I mean, even the LSD and sodium pentothal is gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, it's really
The
hot.
colors are amazing. And look at all the boobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. I thought the book was fine, but I didn't feel like it was. It takes a lot to pull me into sort of like a crime, whatever book storyline, and this wasn't remarkable or different enough to be like, I want to see what happens next. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, this storyline. Being a child of the '80s, I've been exposed to this sort of like
In
Cold
Bond
War
movies.
stuff, like forever. So I don't know. I wasn't terribly impressed, but reading one book, it was like, okay, it was fine. Yeah, like,
Yeah. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I was I enjoyed parts of it. I liked the art. That
Me
was
too.
cool when they were tripping, but I don't know. It didn't grab me, and I don't know if it has enough to bring me back. I might try it the next issue. We'll see.
Yeah. I agree. I thought it was. I didn't think it asked any new questions or brought up any new, story things I'd heard before. The art was nice, and I liked the playlist thing. That's cool.
yeah, that was really
really nice.
Yeah, and that's actually not the first book that has done that. There was another book I read fairly recently that had recommendations on what songs.
Cave Carson. Cave Carson.
Yeah, that one did that. Yeah, they did that in that. Right?
Yeah, DC actually sent a cassette tape.
Yeah.
To comic shops. I don't know how they want me to play it, but it's a legit cassette
They're like,
tape.
oh, look how cool this is. You're like, I don't have a tape player. What do you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
If they sent a tape player, that would make sense.
Right.
But I like that idea. There's another comic book I'm thinking of that also has a playlist included, but I don't remember what it was. Anyway, it's always a cool idea.
Yeah.
that was like the standout. I
Yeah.
think. Innovation.
Yeah, trying to do something
Non-innovation.
different that doesn't necessarily like mesh well with the whole Cold War thing, but this author is doing a pretty good job of doing that.
Yeah.
Kudos in that aspect.
Yeah.
I do from the stuff from the notes section in the back is worth reading. One thing that I could say, even whether I like the book or not, or whether someone likes the book or not, one thing that I have to admire the authors for is their attention to detail. Because I had mentioned the Led Zeppelin 4 8-track before. He even mentions in the in here that there's a list in the notes section of each of the songs that are included in this first issue, and I take it he's probably going to do the same thing for each subsequent issue. So they're listing the pieces and or I said songs, because the first one is, I should say, piece, because it's John Cage 4 minutes 33 seconds, which is this like 20th century whatever. It's not getting into it anyway. He just kind of describes that a little bit, and then he's like Tony Orlando and Dawn, so he's including pop music of the time also. in the paragraph that he says, this song sucks, but I got to include some of it to set the scene. Next one is Led Zeppelin Black Dog. This song's awesome. I even said, like, when I say attention to detail, he specifies in here that he's cheating a little bit with the song because Zep 4 wasn't released until November of 1971. Right. He's like, but maybe she got an advanced bootleg copy of it or something. Right. And it's in there that he says, yes, it was a Pink 8-track. There's an Osmond song, and he's like, this is the Justin Bieber of the day. The Doors, Alice Cooper, Killer. He goes on at length about how awesome early Alice Cooper is. So I think that I would get along with this guy.
I think you and I have both heard evidence that the Osmonds weren't entirely shitty.
Yes.
They were kind of badass at some point or another. There's a song called Wild Horse. Go, if you're listening to this, use your phone or whatever, your computer. Look up the song Wild Horses. Or sorry, Crazy Horses.
Crazy Horses, yeah.
By the
It's a decent
Osmonds.
song.
It's fucking awesome. It's weird. It's so weird, but it's heavy. It's a heavy Osmond song. So, go find that shit. It's awesome.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm biased because I spent 12 years of my life studying things like this, and I think it's a guy who read an autobiography who was inspired, found a muse to write something about KGB, but nothing new is done. The art is great. I like the art, but and the idea of a notion of a playlist that you can listen to while reading a comic is great, but it's not enough to keep me reading. I'm not going to read the next one, I don't think.
Well, I was just going to ask, who's going to start? Who's going to keep reading?
I'm not.
Dan?
No.
We already heard from you, Becky.
Sorry.
That's okay. So, Becky, are you going to keep reading?
Nope.
All right.
I'll let you know if I manage to digest this one. I did read it. It just didn't make a dent in me. I don't know. But I said the same thing that Daniel said, that where it's like it didn't grab me, and I'm trying to get attached to it, but I want to like it, but I can't say that I do. I don't know.
Okay. Dan?
No, I'm not gonna read it. I'm just not really that interested.
Was it, Dan, is there another issue of this out yet? Okay.
No, not yet.
All right, so I don't know. I might give it a number 2. I don't know. Depending on what else that comes out that week, that might be my determining factor. But
fair.
I'm not. If my stack is small, I'll be like, you know what? Why not? I'll throw Mayday in there.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. All right. We'll move right along to our second young animal. Pick.
No, second pick. So we did Doom Patrol, right?
Doom Patrol. Yeah.
And the fourth of the young animal line.
Right.
Right. And I
so
think the final.
It's Doom Patrol, this.
Cave Carson.
And
Shade. The
Okay,
Changing Girl.
Yeah.
Yes. So Mother Panic is the fourth book. It is written by Jody Hauser and drawn by Tommy Lee Edwards. I don't know much about either of them, so I really can't remark on their past work. But I really like this book a lot. The art was fantastic, this scratchy but detailed Sean Murphy design,
a little bit Murphy-ish, yeah.
Yeah, so I really like that. Her costume is awesome.
Yeah,
the design is just badass.
Yeah,
and that little flying thing she has, is cool.
She kind of looks like she very reminded me of the Green Goblin, but
yes,
white.
Yeah,
Really? It reminded me of Moon Knight a little bit.
Cross between Moon Knight and
Green Goblin.
Yeah.
and some sharp angles, sort of I don't know, really cool.
I thought the color palette was cool.
Yes, yeah,
it's a weird it's like purples and oranges.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it's different. It's like a different look at Gotham City.
Yeah,
which I liked. So she Mother Panic. In real life, her name is Violet Page, and she's like a socialite, and she's pretty crazy on the social scene. She's a partier.
She reminded me of like a Lindsay Lohan or what's her name? Fucking Hannah Montana.
Oh yeah.
Miley Cyrus. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
You know what?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm actually proud of that. I forgot her name for a second.
Yeah, good. You should.
I'm sure she would be really happy about that.
Yeah. So she has earned the attention of the paparazzi because of her behavior in her social life. But on the side, we find out that she is a vigilante named Mother Panic, and there's a little bit of a flashback in the book to set up what happened in her family life. Something with her father. He's not alive in the present, and we learn that there was something suspicious around his death by the paparazzi.
Killed in a hunting accident.
Yes, and her mother has Alzheimer's and really doesn't know where she is, and her brother. I don't know if this was in the book or in the bio in the back. Her brother sent her away for 10 years to a boarding school because when his father died. When their father died, he didn't have time to, watch over his sister.
He was
and
much
take
older
care.
than she was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she, as Mother Panic, she is trying to figure out what this one guy's doing. I forget his significance, but he showed something to one of his workers, so to speak.
His worker / lover, apparently?
Yeah. He was making out with him.
Yeah.
And the head boss didn't want that to happen, so they put out a hit on the guy, that his lover / worker, and Mother Panic saved him and is trying to figure out what is going on.
Yeah, and apparently so is Batman.
So is Batman, yeah.
I like that one line he has. Interesting.
Yeah, because Batman does show up in this, so it
Yes.
does indicate that this book is taking place in I don't know, DC continuity, which is kind of cool.
Is it in Gotham?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's in
Gotham.
Gotham.
Okay.
Yeah, she's definitely in Gotham, and she says "fuck the bat" at one point, which I just thought was great.
Right. Now, do we know that are all the Young Animal titles taking place in the same universe?
See, I don't know. It doesn't seem like any of the other ones.
Could because Cape Carson is goofy. That's
Really weird.
really weird and goofy.
Yeah, Shade. I mean, there was a Shade, the Changing Man, back in the 60s or something, I think.
Yeah.
And Cape Carson too.
Cape Carson also is a
yeah.
character.
And Doom Patrol was in previous DC continuity.
Yeah.
Grant Morrison created them. So I don't know, but this Doom Patrol is so fucking weird.
It's really weird, and I like it a lot.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's
it's
great.
very strange. All these Young Animal things are run. They're created essentially by. I guess the idea was created by the previous. They're this lead singer of
My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Gerard Way. He wrote Doom Patrol, and
Yeah. And it's pretty cool. It's a cool idea. It's he. I forget. I think in the back of Doom Patrol, it's him talking about it and how he's trying to. He's like, I remember these comic books when I was a kid. They were just so fucking weird, and I wanted that to happen again. So he pretty much reached out to DC and said, "Can we make
What do you
something that's
think?
weird as fuck?" And they're like, "Oh yeah." So
That's cool. Good. Yeah.
it
Credit
is
to him.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like Mother Panic wasn't.
Oh, it was definitely this was the least weird of all of them.
yeah,
It was.
It was. I think the tagline for Young Animals is kind of dumb. It's dangerous comics for dangerous people or something.
That's
It was for dangerous humans.
Oh, dangerous
Because I
humans?
thought
Okay.
that stuck out in my mind. I was like, "Is he talking about us?"
Yeah. So I guess this is more on the danger side. That's a really
Yeah.
corny slogan, but whatever.
Yeah.
But you're right, Dan. It was it just was not. This was the
regular.
most streamlined.
Yeah, and I also felt like the storyline was a bit jumbled together. It wasn't. I didn't feel like it flowed through. It was.
To me, it seemed like one of the ones where, it's in the second issue, they might clear some of that stuff up. It's just,
Yeah.
there's
I
just
think that was
here's a bunch of
intentionally
stuff to
done.
make you question, but they didn't do it very well.
Yeah, I had a hard time following it.
It was a little harder to follow. I do agree with that. The writing needs to be touched up.
Or not even. I shouldn't say it was
itself.
harder to follow. I feel like there wasn't a thread to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Like
agree with
the
that.
only thing that was constant was this character. Presumably, her name is Mother Panic.
Yes.
Which I didn't even get from it.
Did she say her own name?
I don't think she
I
did.
don't think she did.
Yeah, that's why I was like, is Mother Panic because she has this relationship with her mom, and her mom seems to have a panic disorder, and also
Well, she has Alzheimer's, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, but that because I
dressed
thought
in,
she was
old-timey clothes.
but no, she was fucking confused whenever she was a kid, whenever I guess her dad left them.
No, her dad was killed.
Her dad was killed, and she was confused back then when she was
Yeah.
Could be a form of PTSD.
What I would love
Yeah.
to see is that Mother Panic is a character sort of like Moon Knight, where some of the stuff isn't actually happening.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not. She didn't just look like Moon Knight to me. I mean, maybe she has some. Her mother obviously had some early onset, whether it's PTSD or early onset Alzheimer's or dementia. Maybe she has it too.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Right, exactly. And yeah,
Things like
there's a bunch of-
Huntington can kick in the 30s.
Yeah. So I liked it, and I'll watch. I'll definitely.
Yeah, I was into it. I'm definitely gonna give it some more. Really cool design. I love the design.
I do like the design.
In this issue, I feel like there's not a whole lot to say about it, though.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just a kind of straight ahead story. I don't have questions
It's
about it.
well, it's
Right.
one of those ones where I'm kind of forced to read the second one, just if I want to see what I feel like it. And a lot of those books that we've read are like that, I think.
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah, it's good. No, I mean, like, you guys are all
Yes,
like,
yes. What else?
No, I like it. It's cool. Yeah, there's all kinds of good stuff to chew on in this.
You heard it straight from Greg, folks. Yes, it's cool. There's all sorts of fun stuff to chew on.
He's had 2+
All
weeks
right.
to read these books. He's a busy man.
Why didn't I get to talk about Violent Love? You know, I could have talked about that one.
That's
all right.
fair. That's fair. Yeah. These last couple books, I think, I don't know. They're solidly okay.
Yeah.
They're solidly.
Well, like we talked about before, like we've gone over so many like really great ones that sometimes
Hard to measure.
Like it's hard to our standard is pretty high as far as I'm concerned because not only do we whenever like we get books like Dan and I like usually are the ones who choose them unless somebody else has a suggestion, but we usually pick the ones that we think will be cool just by flipping through. So we already have like kind of we sift through the.
And now that we've transitioned over to doing almost strictly number ones, nobody knows shit. It's like
right.
Yeah.
you take maybe a writer or an artist who you like. You take the cover art. You take the few line synopsis.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, we'll check it out.
Right.
That said, I'm really looking forward to when we do AD.
Oh yeah,
Which
that'll be
is
next episode.
fucking great. That book just was incredible.
I'm sorry, not next episode. Probably the episode after that.
Yeah, not today.
No,
Yeah.
not today.
To put it into Chris terms, sorry to finish up my blurb. Chris had asked 5 favorite comics. I would, while I don't think that anyone can limit their reading to only 5 books. I would say sure, it's worth reading, but it will not end up on my top 5 list. Is what I'm trying to say.
I was worried when we started that. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, really?
You're gonna say this is the top 5 book?
No. I'm just saying it's not.
No,
like
I agree with
that's why I'm so lukewarm about it. I'm like, yeah,
We
it's-
started at while.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
No, that's my point. I understood where you were going with
Okay, yeah.
it was funny. I thought you were gonna be like, I really like this so much.
It's my top 5.
Number 1. Might as well start right here. Yeah.
Well,
that was Mother
Yeah,
Panic.
that's
Anybody
fine.
any final thoughts?
I like the idea that other people in Gotham give a shit and are trying to do stuff.
Oh yeah,
So
Yes, that's a good point.
yeah.
That is a really good point, especially because you're sitting there thinking, really, is Batman the only one?
Well, so much crazy shit's happening there. It's like they've introduced so many villains. Where
Indeed.
like, what if the Joker and the Penguin do something at the same time?
Yeah.
What's gonna what?
Right.
and why wouldn't you just move out of the city? You know what I mean? This shit's been going on for like 30 years.
They've talked about that multiple times in the comics.
Yeah.
People are like, yeah, no, fuck this, we're leaving. That's the last time.
Yeah.
That's the last time my car gets smashed by the goddamn Batmobile. Yeah, I know who it was, officer. Yeah, it was fucking Batman. It's Batman every time. But I can't call Batman up and be like, excuse me, I need your information.
I don't know, I feel like if I lived in Gotham, if I was forced to live in Gotham, I would have to walk around like with a gas mask at least.
Yeah.
because like,
Yeah.
you don't know like when the
Exactly.
Joker talks is going to be released in the air. So I'm going to just walk around with a gas mask all day.
Yeah.
People probably have Batman insurance.
Oh, yeah, right? Batman insurance.
Like, there's actually probably different insurance agencies that advertise different types of Batman insurance. Like they're like Allstate. We have Batman insurance that includes the entire Rogues Gallery. Progressive doesn't do Zaz.
That mayhem guy, he knows Batman's
If
around.
Zaz gets you,
Right, yeah, people are going like, oh yeah, no, you just got to get that Progressive because they don't cover. My buddy had Victor Zaz try to get at him, and no, he was screwed. He was in the hospital. All them bills piled up right.
Yeah, all up row.
Yeah, but I got Progressive, so Zaz comes at me, I'm good.
He's okay. He went to West Penn.
You got to really cover the periphery road. You can't just go, Joker, Penguin, Two-Face. You can't just do that. They're all out there. Most of them guys, the main guys, they're in jail most of the time anyway, so everybody knows when they get out.
well, and don't forget to add on the thug policy.
Thug policy.
Right,
Yeah.
of course.
The henchman policy.
Oh, yeah, but
Oh god.
most of them policies,
Okay.
you got to redefine print. They don't cover them thugs.
Again, please,
That's
all,
an additional
all of you
cost.
need to watch the Venture Brothers because they actually get into that. Insurance policies for henchmen.
Yeah,
Please watch the Venture
so yeah, that's don't live in Gotham is the point.
Yeah,
there.
don't go down there.
Yeah, it's a bad place to be unless you have all the really good insurance.
Yeah. We got anything else?
Everyone at Google Gotham is fine covered.
Gotham Insurance.
Their insurance plan's great.
I'm actually curious. Which comes up Gotham.
So will Daniel and Jared continue reading Mother Panic?
No, I'm not gonna.
I will because I think that because it's a young animal book, they will do some different stuff. Like I don't think that everything you see in this issue is actually what's happening. I hope, because if it is, then it's boring.
I'm sure there's going to be some twists and turns, and I mean, she's definitely a character that is going to. I don't know. I feel like she's like an anti-hero, so she's going to do
Yeah.
a lot of questionable things in terms of morality.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah, I like that, but just if you don't pull me in with the first book, there are a few books that I'm gonna read again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read a second issue.
Yeah. So is that a yes or no? Dan.
I will read it.
Okay.
Yes.
Becky.
I honestly, this is the first. I don't know. I like her, but I mean, I don't know. I'm actually going to listen to what Dan and Jared think, and then I'll decide whether or not I read it. That's a definite neutral.
Well,
It's my first
Oh, you mean like
neutral.
after we?
It's how I've
read
said
the second
that about
book
other books. Yeah.
because I mean I like the character, but I think it was disjointed. I think it was an amusing blend of kind of like, as we said, Moon Knight and other characters too. But I don't know. We'll see. She's the first Young Animals character that I actually like.
Okay.
I didn't like the other ones.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
So neutral.
Waiting on feedback.
Yes.
Okay. Greg.
I would like to say yes. Yeah, I'm interested. Yes.
All right. Well, there you have it. Split decision from the humans on this one. I think that's pretty much we covered everything that we moved in this issue. I'm not sure how long that was. That was enough time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. Well, that was episode 12, volume 2, of Grown Up Human Comic People. You can find us at grownuphumans.com, epicastnetwork.com/grownuphumans. Shout out to Epicast, everybody on the Epicast family, Epicast Network. Go on epicastnetwork.com. Check out the other podcasts. There's a lot of good ones. Mm-hmm. We were actually... we did a little spot on Drinking Partners. Shout out to those guys, Day and Ed. We were, a few of us were on there.
The fam, as they say.
The fam, yeah. And it was ridiculous. We got real drunk. We got fucking drunk. And
Very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. And it was a good time. So
Are we gonna host our episode from our site?
Yeah,
How-
that episode, no, both. The whole thing will be on both.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
you can. It might. We're going to release those at the same time. So actually, if you're listening to this, it's probably already out because theirs airs before us.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be out already. So just go over to the Drinking Partners channel. Oh, actually, it'll be on our channel too. So maybe you already heard it. Maybe I just said a bunch of shit you already know. So
And just a quick plug. We had Cat Bruno in our last episode,
Yes.
but I've actually read 2 out of her 3 books, 2.5 of her. They are wonderful, well-written, excellent fantasy novels. Please read them.
okay.
You know, they're cheap on Amazon. They're free if you have an Amazon Prime
Nice.
account. Read them. They're great.
Nice.
So, okay.
That's it.
So, you can find us. We're on iTunes. We're on Google Play, Stitcher, Facebook, YouTube, Grown Up Human Comic People, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram at Grown Up Humans, and that's the end of my paper.
Yep.
That's it, and that's all, man.
Bye.
See y'all next time.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Peace.
Everyone look up at Rob.
What is proficiency?
Ah, you.
Grown-up.
She's like, oh, good. So then you're gonna like get stoned all the time. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna like
Get a little
few
buzz.
puffs.
Grown-up. Human. Comic. People.
Epicast.